Hey there, welcome back to the podcast. I am Dr. Tracy Shroyer. I'm a career strategist, a professor, and your go to guide for navigating career transitions with clarity and confidence. It's been a minute since I've released an episode, so I want to kick off this new season with something a little different. I want to give a quick update on what's been going on behind the scenes in my business and a deep dive into something that so many of my clients are experiencing right now. And that has to do with resume fatigue and why it's not your fault. So let's jump in. So let's talk about what's new behind the scenes. So I'm going to start with a little update. So over the past few months, I've been coaching job seekers. I've been refining some of my programs and listening very closely to what people are struggling with when it comes to their job search. That led me to build out my system that I now call Rock Your Resume. And I'm going to be building a lot more on this. Right now, I launched the beta course in the last few weeks for Rock Your Resume, and it is loaded with great insights in there. I have several modules, videos, templates, AI prompts, and so much more. And I'm looking to continue to grow that because I know that a self-study course is not for everybody. If you are interested in that, I encourage you to go to tracyshroyerphd.com/job seekers, and you'll be able to find information about the course, as well as information about all of these other things that are coming down the pike. So with that, I want to really be able to walk people through how to build a resume that truly reflects who they are today, and it helps to position them for where they want to go next. It's not just about pretty formatting or using those all air quotes, right buzzwords. It's about clarity, it's about confidence, and it's about connection. And these are three things that job seekers are craving right now. And so that brings me to today's topic. I want to talk to you a little bit about resume fatigue. Now, I'll be honest, I personally haven't felt this deep sense of resume fatigue. I'm a real nerd when it comes to working on resumes, whether it's my own or for clients and others. But I've worked with enough clients who have experienced resume fatigue, and their stories are all too familiar. Here's what I hear a lot of the time. I hear people say, I don't even know where to start. I hate my resume. It doesn't sound like me at all. I keep tweaking it and I still don't feel confident sending it out. And then also, I'm not even sure what I'm aiming for anymore. Very lost on what do I do next. So does any of this sound familiar to you? This isn't laziness. It's not a lack of ambition at all. It's really emotional burnout. And it shows up in many ways. It shows up as procrastination, putting it aside, doing anything you can, but wanting to work on your resume, over editing and being way too cautious and almost to a perfectionist state that it's never going to be good enough for any job role that you apply to. So really over editing and overthinking, getting stuck in formatting instead of focusing on value. So really being worried about that format versus the content that's in it and making sure that the wording and the keywords that are used and the value that you're showing is hitting the spot for those hiring managers and those recruiters. And then the other thing is feeling completely disconnected from your career story. These are things that lead to resume fatigue, and it is real. So you may wonder, why does this happen? So a lot of people I work with were told years ago that they have to follow these resume rules that may not work anymore. Maybe they don't work in general, or maybe they don't work for that case specifically. One of them is you need to keep it at one page. And this is so not true. And I talk about this more in my course, and we'll talk about it more as well, whether it's in the podcast or a special event I have coming up. Individuals are also told, list every single duty you had under each job role. And that is simply not true. Another thing is to make it sound very formal and impressive, using all of these big words and lavish sentences about what you did and what you worked on. We don't do that anymore. And another thing is things like including an objective statement. And that's something that's no longer needed on resumes. On top of all of this, resume advice that is available on the internet, wherever you look, can be very overwhelming and very contradictory. one coach tells you this, another coach tells you this, or you go to a specific site for resume building and it says you need to stick within these rules, and then another site or platform tells you this. It's no wonder you're going to feel stuck with all of these differences and opinions that people have. Here's the thing that I want you to hear loud and clear. You are not doing it wrong. You just need a better approach. So here are some things that you actually need in a resume. Instead of more templates or tips, what most people actually need is number one, clarity. You want clarity in what type of role that you're even aiming for. What type of organization do you want to be part of? What type of culture? What type of results do you want to see? Clarity is one of the number one things that I have helped clients with in the last few months, is really getting clear on what is that job role, because you need that before you can jump into your resume. Instead of having some generalized resume, you really need to know what is that endpoint that you want and how do we customize this document to help to point you in that direction. Number two of what you actually need in a resume is language that reflects your unique value. We want to use terminology, we want to use keywords that really show how valuable you are and why they should choose you over somebody else applying for the role. Number three, and what you actually need in a resume, is a format that is skimmable, that it has keywords, it's aligned with keywords, and that a human can read it, and it doesn't feel so robotic. Number four is the confidence for you to hit that submit button without second guessing. How many of you have ever gone to apply for a job and you're like, I really want this job, and maybe it's a dream job of yours, and you linger over that submit button because you're not sure if the resume that you have is good enough. Maybe it's more of the generalized resume you use and you spray and pray and hope that a job hits back, or you've made a couple tweaks, but you're not quite sure and you really want to make sure that it stands out. So I want to make sure that you have that confidence. So you hit that send button and you know you did everything in your power in your resume and beyond to work towards getting a seat at the interview table for that job. So these are the types of things that I walk people through in my Rock Your Resume framework. I'm really excited to share. I'll be teaching a free webinar coming up soon. I'm going to give you a behind the scenes look at this method. So if this is resonating with you, or maybe you're thinking, yeah, that's exactly where I'm at, I want to invite you to this free upcoming webinar. Rock Your Resume, how to build a resume that reflects who you are and gets results. I'm going to walk you through a few things. One, why your current resume may not be working. Number two, my 4-part framework I use with my clients. Number three, how to stop second guessing and start standing out, thinking about that confidence factor. And then number four, how to get support and creating a resume that actually opens doors. This webinar is scheduled for Sunday, September 7th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern. I encourage you to visit the site, tracyshroyerphd.com/job seeker, and you'll find the registration link for this webinar. And I encourage you to click there to sign up. And if you're not able to make it, you will get an automated recording for the webinar. So in the episodes ahead, we're going to dive deeper into topics like resume myths that may be holding you back. We're going to talk about how to use keywords without sounding robotic. I know a lot of people are worried nowadays if they even leverage AI, things like ChatGPT, that it will sound and look like it's from AI and not like it's from a person. We're also going to focus in some of the episodes about what hiring managers are really looking for, so give you some insight on that, and how to align your resume with your interview and your LinkedIn strategy as well, which are so critical. So this whole season is going to be designed to demystify the resume and help you to reclaim your voice, both on paper and in your career. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode helped you to feel seen, encouraged, or a little bit more empowered, I encourage you to share it with a friend or take a moment to leave a review. I would love to hear from you. until next time, keep going. You've got this.